Welcome to the channel. My name is Kim, and this is Uncovering Self-Love. So, how are you doing today? I hope you're doing good. Did you get a moment to yourself today? Like, did you get a chance to escape from, I was gonna say, the office and step outside, step somewhere and have lunch by yourself, maybe go see a movie by yourself, just any amount of time by yourself? Oh, before I forget, I want to say thank you. We have one new subscriber. So just yesterday I was saying, oh, I have 7 subscribers. Today, y'all, I was looking at something and I saw I have a new subscriber. So yay! We have 8 subscribers now, or I have 8 subscribers now. 8 new girlfriends, that's what I should say. So thank you, girlfriend, and welcome. Thank you for joining. So today I wanted to talk to you about the thing, about doing the thing. What is the thing that you has been on your heart, the desire, the dream that you have been wanting to do and you have not done it? Or what has God asked you to do, told you to do, and you have not done it? Is it going back to school to get a degree, to get a certificate? That's the kind of person I am. I'll go get a certificate. I don't have a degree, but I will go get a certificate. So it could be a certificate. It could be exercising. It could be volunteering. It could be so many things. It could be a designer. You could be something with artistic, like painting the picture. I was gonna say writing the book. I already said writing the book. But whatever it may be, or do you know what that thing is? I think so many times we don't know what that thing is, what we want to do. And I'm gonna say for myself, I know I spent so much time trying to figure out what is the next thing. So let me start off by saying, and you've probably heard me say in just about every video. So for most of my life, well, all of my life, besides now at this point, because for the 5 past years, I've just been doing like food delivery, Uber Eats, DoorDash, and Spark. And if you don't know what Spark is delivering for Walmart. So you could deliver groceries, packages like Amazon. You could have like several packages you deliver to different homes. You can return packages from a customer, like you would go to the customer's house and return it to the store. So that's what I've been doing. But before that, my whole life, I've worked with kids, and I never had to really figure out what I wanted to do early on, because that is something I always wanted to do. That is something I always enjoyed doing, was working with kids. So I've worked with kids in just about every way that you can work with them. I've been a mentor. I worked with ages like 6 weeks to, well, 4 weeks, because when I was a nanny for the second family, I started watching them when they were 4 weeks old. So 4 weeks to like 17 years old, because the young lady that I mentor, she was in high school. So I went in, you guys, I saw this ad. I was wanting to volunteer and help. And what I saw advertised was for like a 5-year-old. And I was like, okay. And so I went in and spoke with someone, and she just kind of asked me about my experience. Yeah, next thing I know, she didn't put me with a high school. I'm like, okay, I was looking for somebody little, not a whole high schooler, but that was a nice experience. So, where did I leave off at? Worked with, I was a preschool teacher at a Montessori school. And before I became a preschool teacher at that same, okay, wait, let me go back to the beginning. So I used to work, I started off working at a health club in their nursery. So, you know, while you were exercising, I'm watching the kids, and I worked there for a while. And then I went to a Montessori school, and I worked in the extended care. So I was there. So at one point, I was just working at the health club with the kids. Then I was working part-time at the health club, and part-time at the Montessori school. So like 3 to 6 after the kids get out. Then I became a preschool teacher at that Montessori school. Then I left the Montessori school to become a nanny for a family. They had 2 boys, and their boys attended the Montessori school. Matter of fact, I just heard from, she just sent me a text not too long ago telling me that her oldest son, now his kids are going to a Montessori school. So that's so exciting. Yeah, so so I did that, I was a nanny, but I was like a part-time nanny. Part-time work for full-time money. So I would work for 30 minutes in the morning from like 7 to 7:30 and take them to school. And then I would pick them up at 3 and work 3 to 6. So I had the day free. The director at the Montessori school asked me to, so what I would do also was I would substitute. Like if they needed a substitute teacher at the Montessori school, I would do that since I was free. I also worked 2 days a week as a music teacher and a gymnastics teacher there. So when I left the first nanny job, they introduced me to my second nanny job. So the first nanny job, I was there for about 9.5 years. The second nanny job, I was there for about 11 years. And so after that, even before I left my nanny job, I'll say a while before that, I kept thinking, what? You know, I know at some point I'm going to have to leave because the kids are getting older. What is it that I want to do? And I just did not know what it was I wanted to do. And just like I'm sure so many of you have done, I've read the books, I took the test. You know, what is that? I can't remember the name. Is it Briggs test? Something like that. And in most all tests, I come out as like a teacher, kind of tells you your gifts. I can't remember what else it said, but me and a coworker went we went to a college and took that test one year, many years ago. So she was a coworker at Global. What else was I gonna say? So yeah, just feeling stuck, not knowing what to do, doing, like I said, all just looking into different things, reading different books, taking different tests, and just still felt lost. Now, I will say about 10 years ago, I was interested in doing YouTube, but I would film a little bit here and there. Didn't post anything, just like, okay, I'm gonna film this. And it wasn't even, what I filmed probably wasn't even, I don't even know if it was 30 minutes long, but it was just like one video, a video here and there over the years, but never even thought about posting it. And I don't know why I didn't. I'm kind of kicking myself that I did not and didn't get started then. And over the years, there are different things that I wanted to do and just did not do. I did go to school for baking and pastry because I wanted to have a bakery. So, but never started that, never sold anything. Um, all right, one time I wanted to open a daycare. I wanted to have my own clothing store at one point, but didn't really do, not really, didn't do any of those things. And then what kind of changed also is I knew I wanted to travel. I want to do something where I was free, that I want a job that I can work from anywhere. And of course, doing YouTube allows you to do that. I want the freedom to be like, if I want to be here in Kansas City, be here. If I want to travel, still do that, but still making a living doing something that I enjoy. And then I was thinking, okay, if I do YouTube, what is it that I want to do? Um, and I thought about, initially it was going to be traveling because the first time I want to be a travel, make travel content. Um, I went, like I told you yesterday in the video. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. um, and that the name of that video is "It's Time for a Reset." Yeah, I was in Australia, so I thought, that would have been the perfect time. I would have had so much content because I was there for like 25 days. And then fast forward years later, my daughter and I, now it's been years ago, had started a little YouTube channel. We have a few videos out there, the Matriarch and the Millennial, if you want to go check it out and see our videos. And I like that setup. We had a little filming day, it was on Monday, and we just started out really just filming different things around Kansas City. So it was me and her going around, and then we had my aunt that was helping us, and she would film us because for whatever reason with that video or YouTube channel, I just wanted a different feel. I didn't want to hold the camera. I just wanted us to be seen, like interacting and to show what we were doing. And so that worked out with the three of us, but we kind of stopped doing that. And then years ago, one of the Bible verses that kept coming up to me that God was speaking to me about was love thy neighbor, love thy neighbor. And I was thinking, in the Bible, your neighbor is anyone. It is literally your next door neighbor or the person that lives in China or in the whole, whoever it may be, whoever path you may cross, love your neighbor, be a good person. And that kept coming up, and I want to go back and do a little more Bible study and on that verse. The verses that have kept coming up to me over the years, I think I want to go back and dig into them a little bit more. I know I did somewhat at that time, but I feel like I need to go back and do even more. But anyway, that verse kept coming up, and I was like, Lord, who is it that you want me to love? I was thinking my neighbors ain't loving me. Not my neighbors that or on my block, but I was thinking like in general, like who is it? And then as I thought about, people in general, I was like, I started thinking how much we really don't love ourselves. And we do to a certain extent, like I said yesterday, or in one of my previous videos, if I were to ask you or anyone else, do you love yourself? Of course, the answer is going to be yes. But like I say, to what degree? Like how you treat yourself and like by you know, exercising, drinking the water, eating the foods, enjoying life. That's one thing I didn't say yesterday with the reset button. I need to get out and do more. I'm not enjoying, we'll have some family gatherings, but I just want to get out, enjoy more of life. We're just so busy going through the motions of work, school, cook, the kids, that we're not enjoying life. We're not doing what's on our hearts to do because, we don't have the time. We don't have the energy. Some people will say they don't have the money. May not have the coach or someone to help, but we do have now YouTube Studio. So, but I kept thinking about that, like how much do we really love ourselves? And then I thought, as I was looking at other people, I had to take a look at myself and see, so many different ways that for you to love yourself. And it's the many different ways that you have to take care of yourself. Like I said, from the smallest thing to the biggest thing, that is showing self-love, depending on how you do it. Like, say, some people may struggle financially. I'm not going to say struggle financially because that's a whole different thing. But you're not being a good steward of what you have financially. And it's not because of a lack of, money. And it could be because of a lack or not that much because you're not a good steward of it. It just depends on how, what's going on. But that's what I mean, in many different ways. So I thought, why not? And the other thing, it was rest. That's another Bible verse that keeps coming up. And just for us to spend time with God and also to physically rest our body. So that's when I thought of this channel and how I wanted to make it about women learning to love yourself and I was gonna say and take care of yourself, but to really know what love looks like, feels like, sounds like, with taking care of yourself. So I want to hear from you. What is your thing? What is the thing that you have always wanted to do and you have not done it? It is time to do it. It is time to start doing the thing. All right. Have a good day. And remember to love yourself and to put yourself first. Start giving yourself the first 5 minutes of the day. Give yourself the first part of the day every day. Bye. Also, I'm sorry, girl, but don't forget to subscribe, share. If this is a video that you like and you think another girlfriend would like it, have her come on over. And subscribe, share, and like. Bye.